introduce this. So me and you always had this debate about all-timers, players, where they rank at, how you don't respect the 60s, I don't respect the 90s, yada, yada. We go all over the place with these debates. But one thing you don't like when I card I pull is the evolution card. You don't like the evolution card I pull. And I'm a firm believer that the game gets better and better as we watch. I personally think you could take Oscar Robertson and put him in the 2000s. Is it 2000? No, the 2010s. That's the heaviest point guard time, I think. 2010s when the most point guards was in the league. I don't think Oscar Robertson will come in and do what he did because I think there's players who are evolved above that. Mm-hmm. Wilt was a freak of nature, so I don't really count him. The freaks of nature I don't count. Wilt, Magic, LeBron. I think those three, top of my head, could go in any decade and replicate what they did because the physical specimen that they were. Like in what era somebody gonna stop Magic from being Magic? In what era somebody gonna stop LeBron from being LeBron? Much y'all want to talk about the 80s? Bullshit. LeBron still built like fucking John Cena. And Wilt Chamberlain, I mean, as much as you don't like his personality, you heard the stories. Who the fuck stopping him? Like that it's a debate if Shaq could do it. That should speak volumes. Definitely Shaq can stop Wilt or be as strong as Wilt. It's a debate, it's a conversation that is not even true. So this all goes around Jordan. I personally believe Jordan wouldn't average 30 like that. I don't think he'll dominate the players in the league these days. I think it is on wax, so I guess I said no. He'll be a shinier DeMar DeRozan. He'll be shinier DeMar DeRozan. He'll be another good name, folks. Another good description. He'll be a cleaner Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
That's how I look at MJ. MJ averaged 30 all those years. I do think that has to do with the 90s more than anything. So I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, just because they had Patrick Ewing and Olajuwon in this era, that Jordan won't average even more. I think that these dudes watch the game. And of course, when I say the evolution of the game, I'm taking the knowledge that they got from watching Jordan. Just like Jordan. Jordan took his knowledge from Dr. J, David Thompson, all those guys. I think LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, I think all those guys are going to use the knowledge they use from Jordan, because I know we talking this different universe shit, moving him over to another era. But I think the evolution of basketball, Jordan have a hard time hanging with those cats. Not hanging with them, he'll still be one of the best, but I don't think he'll be this crazy scorer because of that. I think if he go against Kobe, I think Kobe give him work.
All right, so
Kobe know all his moves and more.
Whatever. Okay.
That's not facts.
So he know his moves, but he's not as good, and that's cool. That's fine. He knows all his moves.
The numbers
he's not.
Like that.
And look, let's
Yo Flo, my bad. Yo Flo, go ahead.
Let's get into one of the things that you mentioned freaks of nature, right? Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Magic, you mentioned Wilt, you mentioned LeBron. Mm-hmm. Jordan is in there with those guys. Another person that's in there with those guys is actually Bill Russell. And reason why I'm gonna say Bill Russell was
We've seen another Bill Russell though.
But you didn't though. So what I'm saying is, as far as play style, yeah, Bill Russell was not a great player on offense. We're not gonna act like he was. Bill Russell was a freak of nature who played basketball. I guess who was good at basketball. That's kind of what he was. He was like one of those people who was like, if you ever saw like a video of somebody who jumped way too damn high for basketball, but they don't really play basketball. Like mm-hmm. One of the dudes that he probably play on a football team, and he got like a 45-inch vertical, and it's like this dude uncoordinated or something, and he dunked, but his armpit by the rim. Like that's Bill Russell. Like this dude was I want to say he was third ranked in the high jump when they went to the Olympics, and he was invited to the Olympics for the high jump, but he decided to play basketball. So I'm saying, like, on that level, like, he was a freak of nature. When you're talking about Michael Jordan, and we don't actually know how high his vertical is, but on all accounts, he has one of the highest verticals ever. So higher than anybody in the league right now. For his speed, faster than most of the people in the league right now. And if you wanted to verify that, you look
just to be clear, my bad to cut you off, but just to be clear, we talking 93 Jordan or 96?
No, 96 Jordan was like 96 Jordan was, how old was he? It was 32.
32.
Yeah. So that's probably not the peak of his athleticism.
So 91 to 93.
Yeah, so somewhere around there.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a clear picture of where you trying to.
Yeah. So like when Jordan came in the league, like you saw the athletic gifts that he had. So that's just something that he did. Like if you're looking at for his steals, you see the speed that he has, right? So far as his hand size, he has the same hand size as Kawhi. Like this dude was physically gifted. And what I'm saying is, if we're talking about the evolution of basketball, and I'm not just talking about Michael Jordan, the way that the game is set up today, prior to 2004, 5, the game has been set up for perimeter players to exceed. All right. So I'm not going to say just Michael Jordan is going to be a person who's going to.
To be clear, what happened in 2004?
They eliminated hand checking.
What about the defense in 3 seconds? They installed that also.
What you mean defense in 3 seconds?
I think that's when they installed that rule too, huh? What
you mean by it?
Defense in 3 seconds?
Yeah, like what you mean?
You can't stand in the lane no more.
Okay, so if you take the person where you can't stand in the lane no more, so you can't just wait in the lane, and you can't prohibit somebody who's faster than you from getting to the goal to a person who's fast and he does his work at the rim, that's going to be a benefit to him. So for Jordan,
I get that, but I'm just saying, okay. So
what I'm saying is, for Jordan, smaller guards, for guards, period, perimeter players, this system that's in place is going to be beneficial to him. And it's not just that. Not only you get extra steps, right? So they implemented a 0 step. I don't know exactly when that came about, but they implemented a 0 step. And that's why James Harden's step back is not a travel. All right. Giannis takes 2 steps from half court, and it's however many steps he takes from half court, and it's not a travel. That's because they have a 0 step when you start to gather. So they have those things, and the way that they count those steps as far as you gathering and different things like that, it's going to be a better situation now for a guard or a perimeter player than it was back then. Who is going to be harder on? It's going to be harder on centers and people who post up by the goal. It's going to be harder on them. So, like, if we say Kareem, right, or Patrick Ewing, I won't say young Shaq, but if you have certain players that traditionally were great, if you put them in this era, it won't be as great for them. And it could be, and we could talk about players that weren't really Hall of Famers that would excel in this era. And obviously, Dell wouldn't be as good as Steph, but Dell will excel in this era. If you're talking about, they have Drazen Petrovic, he would excel in this era. Like, they would have certain players that would excel in this era, that because their skill set is what their skill set is, they would be better in this era. If we're talking about Larry Bird would be better in this era. So
oh my
when
gosh,
it
dog.
comes
Why
down to
you
it,
okay, bro? You completely saying fuck the evolution of basketball, bro.
no, what I'm saying is certain players are going to be better in this era because the game is tailored to them.
Be clear when you say that, though. When you say better, you saying they'll have better careers. They wouldn't be a star. Like, as much as people try to glorify Reggie Miller and say, oh, in this era he did yada yada, he'd still be Reggie Miller. He wouldn't be. Would you really have Reggie Miller above Klay Thompson?
Yeah, you have Reggie Miller above Klay Thompson. Yeah, absolutely. One, Reggie Miller led a team. That's one. That's one.
That first and second option shit.
That's one. That is one.
That first and second option shit, boy.
That'll be one. But if we're looking at Reggie Miller, right? Like
in the league right now.
Yeah.
He's better than, so he's what, top 20?
I don't know what he will be. I'm saying where we put
where we put him at. Okay, so he wouldn't be top 5. He wouldn't be better than Giannis, Durant, LeBron, Steph, whoever you have at 5th, Joker, I guess. He wouldn't be better than Embiid. So I'm trying to figure out where he'll be at. Would he be better than Trey?
So look, let me and I want to look this up, right? And just looking to see Reggie Miller for his career averaged about 4 threes a game. Klay averages 7. Like, if we go to with Trey Young and Steph average for his threes per game, it's going to be higher than that. I'm just saying, with Reggie Miller, the way that Reggie Miller plays, right? Reggie Miller plays just like Steph. Like, aside from he doesn't dance with the ball or whatever, but he runs off screens, catches the open shot, or catches the open and then he shoots the ball. So the way that Reggie Miller plays is tailored to the game today. And if you're gonna say that the reason why Michael Jordan couldn't play in a game today or wouldn't be as good in the game today because of threes,
he'll be as good, not better.
You have to say that Reggie Miller would be better than he was because this game is all about threes. So the way that Reggie Miller played an average where he averaged in like 4 threes a game. Larry Bird, he probably averaged 2. And I'm looking it up now. With Larry Bird averaged 1.9 threes a game. I'm just saying, in Larry Bird's his career high for threes was 3. And this is at him at 41%. I'm just saying the way that this is, and Larry Bird's 6'10".
So are you adding points to what to their play style or something when you calculate this? Because
no, I'm not.
I'm looking at Reggie Miller like
I'm not adding points to their. I'm not adding points. I'm not calculating anything. All I'm saying is that when you have a player who's a perimeter player and you put him in a game that's more perimeter friendly, he's going to be better. If we talk about a player who would have excelled in the 80s, if we talk about Andre Drummond, right? Andre Drummond would have excelled in the 80s. All right. And I'm just saying that because I'm not at being a center. I'm saying if you were saying the 80s or the 90s, let's say the 90s. I won't put him in the 90s. Why would he
be a factor in the 80s?
Andre Drummond?
Moses, Hakeem. When we say he'll be effective in the 80s, where we at?
He's not. I'm saying he's not in the league right now. So what we putting him at? If we saying that he's a top 5 or top 10 center in the 80s, and he's no longer in the league.
Name of 10 is weird.
Cool. If we saying top 10, then he's better in the 80s because right now, is he in the league or he backing up Joel Embiid? I think he's on the Sixers team.
So you're saying his even his career wouldn't be better in the 80s.
I'm saying he's a starting level center in the 80s. He probably has a couple All-Star appearances. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has all NBA teams or whatever like that. But the way that his play
I'm
style,
missing centers when I talk about this.
I'm saying the way that his play style is, he can play in that era because the way that the era is everything is closer to the goal. Like the way that everybody gets their points is closer to the goal. Andre Drummond is a great rebounder. He can't shoot free throws, but he can. That's what I'm saying. Like if we saying Jahlil Okafor, it's probably better in the 80s and 90s. Man, he playing league in like 4-5 years.
He probably had the same career everywhere you go, bro.
where he messed around and he out the league in 3 years?
No, he was in the league for a while, but Jahlil Okafor. Look, this is how I feel. When it comes to people when they're saying back to the basket players and they ain't gonna make it, yada yada. I think that's nonsense. I think if you're good enough, you can make it work. Joel Embiid, if he stops shooting threes, nobody gonna be mad at him. He's still gonna be one of the best players in the league. I think it just the way you play. You got to learn how to be dominant at that position. So Jahlil Okafor, yeah, his style would have made it in the 80s and 90s, but what kind of points he putting up? It's even worse for him in the 80s and 90s because they got better defensive players under the goal. So I don't see that when it comes to Joel Embiid.
No, I'm saying, and I ain't say Joel Embiid. I think but no,
that go my bad to cut y'all, but that goes for Andre Drummond too. Like we said, we put him in the league with all these players, but again, the competition, just like if you move any center on back, they will have a harder time. I think they'll pass up the same numbers, but I think they'll have a harder time. Just like you move any wing or point guard to the 2000s, 2010s, and forward, they're going to have a harder time in that. I think Jordan will run into more skilled. The way I look at it like this, when we talk about Jordan, how you feel about Jordan versus Kevin Durant as far as just strictly scoring? How you feel about Jordan versus Kevin Durant?
As far as I think like if we just talking about skill scores where you can put a bucket up anywhere, Kevin Durant is probably the greatest scorer of all time. If we just talking about like anywhere on the court, give me a bucket.
Well, I want you to compare him to Jordan. That's how I just want to see how you feel about that.
What I'm saying is, and this is what I've seen Kevin Durant struggle with, or what I've seen Kevin Durant have an issue with. I've seen Kevin Durant have an issue with physicality, and that's what I've seen.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, right now, Kevin Durant doesn't have to deal with physicality because physicality is prohibited. If you put Kevin Durant in a place where he has to deal with physicality, does that change him? Like if we put Kevin Durant's physical, and this is what I'm saying. So when Jordan, and just thinking about how this played out, what Jordan did is when Detroit busted his ass all the times, he went in the weight room and he got stronger because that's what he had to do. Mm-hmm. Does Kevin Durant do that same thing? Probably. So does Kevin Durant change into that guy? Probably. But if we just put Kevin Durant's trajectory on how it is and not dealing with physicality and always struggling with physicality, and you put him in a physical era, then that is going to make him worse. He's still going to be great, but that's going to make him worse. What I'm saying is,
it's hard for me to dig into that because people say the same thing about LeBron.
And look, this is what I'm saying. If you take somebody who does not fare well with physicality and you take the physical element out of it, they're going to be better. That's all I'm saying. So when it comes down to Kevin Durant does not deal with physicality well. I've seen this on, I guess, a couple different occasions.
Look how they trying to save you. They can't save you.
Oh no, I was still here. I'm still here.
I understand. They trying to kick me out. Like, wait, hold
up.
They
gave you a break. They gave you a little water break. That's all it was.
Nah. They like don't rebuttal to him.
That's what it is. It's like, Mick, I mean, put him on the side. Throw it at the top. But no, like, so I'm saying when it comes down to Kevin Durant, you've never saw him struggle when it comes down to physicality.
All right. I can agree that he struggled with physicality. I can't agree to say that, oh, he was in another era, he still wouldn't be as effective. So the whole reason I actually set you up for that to see how much similar scores are Jordan and Kevin Durant.
Wait. Your audio is, your audio is trash right now. But while he doing that, I'll go ahead and kind of go over it. I think the difference between Jordan and Kevin Durant, what Jordan is going to give you the edge as far as scoring, and Kobe does this same thing. Jordan goes to the spots that he's comfortable with. Jordan shoots where he's comfortable with, and when it comes down to putting pressure on the defense, he's not really concerned on where he's going to score. He's just going to score. So if I'm saying that if Jordan shoots from 3 spots on the court and you can't get him from those 3 spots, I don't care if Kevin Durant has 18 spots on the court. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter to me.
All right. So let me school you on this.
Did you get all that? Did you? Because I know you was gone for a minute. Like,
so to be clear, you're saying Kevin Durant wouldn't be as good as Kevin Durant in a more physical era.
I'm saying that's what that sounds like. Yeah, that's correct. Because if we look, and when I'm saying Kevin Durant wouldn't be Kevin Durant in a more physical era, I'm not saying Kevin Durant will average 20 points a game or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
I'm walking into something anyway. You good?
No, I'm saying I'm not saying that we average 20 points a game. What I'm saying is, if you have a player that struggles with physicality, then they'll struggle in a more physical era. That's it. That's as simple as that goes.
So could you agree Jordan struggled with physicality at one point?
I think Jordan is actually Jordan is one of the best finishers after contact.
Oh my God. Would you say Jordan struggled with contact?
No.
This Jordan shit gotta go.
No,
the dude literally went to the weight room after getting beat the fuck up by Detroit.
He did. He did.
So he kind of struggled with physicality, right?
That's not the same thing.
Help this guy. All right, look.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
We're not even talking about that. I'm talking about now.
Yeah, go ahead.
KD one of the most prolific scorers now.
Absolutely.
And he's not averaging 30. Why is he not averaging 30 to you? Just curious.
KD has never been like the aggressive scorer. KD is really like, if you look at KD numbers, KD is probably gonna be somebody gonna have your favorite stat, true shooting percentage. KD is gonna take really efficient shots, but it's not gonna be a whole bunch of them. That's just what it is. He wet, but he's not aggressive.
So who's the aggressive scorer this era? What, James Harden, I guess?
James Harden is aggressive when he comes.
How many times he averaged 30? Twice?
Probably 3 times.
3 times.
3 times at least. 3, 4, something like that.
Okay. So and he's a very, very heavy 3-point shooter.
Okay.
I don't even remember him taking mid-range shots.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, what does a guy who shoots mainly mid-range and dunks, he probably don't get fouled as much. If you think about that, he probably don't get fouled as much just on the strength of he's always going to the goal. How is he going to average more than 30? Because he already averaged 30. I give him the 30. I give Jordan the fact that he probably averaged the same. Going beyond that is where I draw the line. So I'm trying to figure out what is Jordan doing in this era to what KD can't do or Steph can't do on a regular basis, like James Harden. Like that's probably the only person who you actually give credit to who could probably average 30 on a regular basis. But I'm just trying to figure out what Jordan doing. The fact that Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, like I said, KD, Steph rarely averaged 30. Like you're saying because Jordan an aggressive scorer, he's gonna average 30 on a regular basis. And I don't see it.
Well, how many times did Jordan average 30? It's
Like
1,
8,
2,
9?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times Jordan is
I would
average.
think you know that off jump, bro.
Nah, 8 times Jordan is average 30. All right, and
tatted on your back or something.
And with those 8 times that Jordan has averaged 30, he shot the ball on average 23 times. Not only on average he shot the ball average 23 times, he's averaged about 52%, right? In addition to that, when it comes down to his field goal or his free throws, he's getting to the line at probably about eight times. So what I'm saying is, in an era that's softer, right? This is a softer era. So when it comes down to getting fouls, it's going to be easier when you go to the goal. It's easier in a softer era. In addition to that, you eliminated the center position. So you essentially eliminating the center position where you have like 5 or 6 centers in the league right now. Like it's not that many. Like it's not the era of centers and enforcers where you have basically you have a dude who's just big and not supposed to play basketball in Charles Oakley, and you have somebody who averages 3 blocks a game on damn near every team, which I'm saying Patrick Ewing. And it's probably like 2 blocks, whatever. But you have those people willing to meet you at the rim. And in addition to that, you have physical defenders who are up in your shit. So we get rid of Charles Oakley and we replace him with Bertans. And we get rid of fucking Patrick Ewing and we replace him with I don't know, like any goddamn center that's probably would have been 6'9", center that doesn't really whatever, and you can't touch him. It's going to be easier, so his field goal percentage is going to be higher because it's easier for him to get there. And that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to this, and this is not just Jordan, this is going to be pretty much all the perimeter players. They're going to be able to do this because this is how the game is played.
So what, Dominique average 35 now?
I don't know if Dominique averaging 35, like he gonna get 30 one season. Like he gonna get 30, he gonna get 30 a couple seasons.
I would think he plays a similar style as Jordan, so I would think he would go up there too, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying that he's gonna get 30 every season, because I'm saying if Jordan got 30, fucking, I'm looking at it 8 seasons, he might get 30 like 11.
Okay, all right. we can let everybody decide on that one. I'll give my closing statement. You can rebuttal. We can kill it after that.
All right.
So when we talk about, just to give you my explanation of this evolution in basketball, when we talk about point guard, the original point guard that most people rely on is Bob Cousy. When you move from Bob Cousy, you go to what? Jerry West or Oscar, however you want to put it. Magic, which I think Magic is the pinnacle of point guards. Then you have Stockton or Penny, however you want to look at it. Then you go with Nash, CP3. if you look at it, it all grew into, I guess you could say CP3 the last point guard that you'll base things off of. But besides Magic, CP3 probably better than everybody I named as far as playing a point guard position. As far as the shooting guard position, shit, who was the shooting guard before Jordan? I guess you could go with Jerry West and Pistol Pete maybe. Then Jordan come along. Now, if you think Jordan is the pinnacle of the shooting guard position, that's fine. I think you could go with Jordan or Kobe. Then you go to James Harden, who pretty much redefined what he does with the basketball. Shit that Jordan and Kobe never even thought of doing. This dude took advantage of the rule book. Fuck killing somebody. I'm just take over you by the rule book. Go to small forward. We start with Elgin. Then I guess move forward to Dr. J, Larry Bird. All this leads down to LeBron James, Kevin Durant. You want to go to the power forward? It went from Bob Pettit to Tim Duncan to fucking Anthony Davis. Center probably that didn't evolve like that because I mean you want to say Joel Embiid and Joker are way different from Bill Russell and Wilt. That's true, but as far as production, it's probably almost the same. But even still, Wilt and Bill Russell not passing and shooting like Joker and Embiid. The game evolved, and that's why I'm getting at. I'm looking at Jordan. He would be the guy. He would still be the guy, but he wouldn't be the guy with Kobe sitting in front of him, especially with the knowledge that he put into the game. That's the only reason. That's the reason I'm saying that. Jordan put he put a certain knowledge into the game. People took notes when they watched Jordan. Jordan from the 2000s to what 2000s, we watched pretty much take Jordan's skill, knowledge, everything he did, and turned it and put in not people copy the game, but they sprinkle some of that game on top of their game. Jordan mentality, Air Jordan, shoot the last second buzzer beater. Like people start talking about that shit when Jordan came about. Even though Jerry West hit a fucking 70-foot in the 70s, like that was probably one of the original buzzer beaters I ever seen in my life. But people go straight to Jordan with Craig Elo. Like I said, I think the game eventually stepped up. I think Jordan run into young bulls that would give him a hard time. So that's my evolution of basketball. I think not on the older styles it's actually a tip of the hat to the game upgrade. If you think these old heads come down and do the same thing, it's like, well, shit, the game didn't get better.
Well, no. So, there's a couple people in basketball history that is going to redefine an era. They're just going to be a physical anomaly. Like you have Wilt Chamberlain, and Wilt Chamberlain played in the 60s. We can put Wilt Chamberlain in the game today, and Wilt Chamberlain is going to probably be the best center in the league. Now, we can say that the game has evolved because the things that Joel Embiid and Joker are doing, Wilt Chamberlain didn't have that skill set, which is true. This is a skill set of a perimeter-centric league. When it comes down to the league focusing more on the perimeter game, that's going to be a skill set that goes on that goes from there. And yes, there's going to be due a lot to Michael Jordan and the popularity that he brought to the league at that time. So, and I'll ask you this: who do you think in the league right now is better than Kobe? As far as
all time
twos, no, just better, a better game than Kobe. Twos
game than Kobe as far as the shooting guard.
Yeah, shooting guard.
Better game. I haven't seen it yet, but I think we still on the James Harden era.
Well, no, because the thing is, when it comes down to evolution, or this is would you try to put as far as evolution, like I guess if we say in evolution is different. Like if we put Kobe and Jordan next to each other, Kobe and Jordan, same height. Jordan is going to be faster, jump higher, bigger hands, probably a longer wingspan. Like, Jordan is more physically gifted than Kobe Bryant. And that's no shot to Kobe. It's not something that you can do. You can do about that. But I'm saying, in his game was similar. So when we put it together, even though it's close, it's just not as good. And if you're saying that there's nobody that's better than Kobe now, then how can you say that someone or one of these shooting guards has evolved beyond Michael Jordan? Now, when we look at,
because I'm talking about one of the GOATs. I'm not.
Now look. Let me go ahead.
Okay.
So we have Magic. We had Magic at the point guard position, and Magic redefined that point guard position. Like, who do you have now that's better than Magic?
You asking me for real?
Yeah.
So when you say better, that's the part that's questionable. Are you saying better as in like all time, or
no, just better? Better game.
I'm picking players.
Yeah, picking players.
Currently, right now, I would say Steph is a better point guard. Well, okay, so that's the thing. We talking about better player, or just talking about who plays the point guard position better?
We talking about, because we're talking. I'm going position by position, just like you went position by position.
So if we're going position by position, I say nobody better than Magic, but prime Chris Paul is definitely say probably better than Magic.
But then we talking about Chris Paul, who's like, if we're looking at him, which Chris Paul is one of the least athletically gifted players.
Yeah, like, but again, this goes back to the Jordan thing. He took the knowledge and turned it into his own game.
No, listen, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that the way that you're trying to put it, basketball is not evolution based on physical gifts, because that's what evolution is. That's physical gifts. Where what happens is basketball is using analytics, and it's just math. Math is analytics. If you have 35 times 3 is more than 50 times 2. So if you have 35% from 3, that's going to be better than 50% from 2, because 35 times 3 is what? 105? Yeah, 105. Yeah. And 50 from 2 is going to be 100. So that's all analytics. All analytics is using. So when they look and say 35% is better than 35% from 3 is better than 50% from 2, that's it. And that's why they're shooting way more threes, because of math. And I'm saying, when it comes down to math, your math doesn't add up when we're talking about, if we're saying that a perimeter player who averaged 30 in an era that was not perimeter centric is going to do worse in an era that is perimeter centric. An era that is perimeter centric.
I said they'll be the same.
Or even if you're saying the same, when it comes down to the path of least resistance, if you have basically saying that the same player is going to play against worser, if the same player is going to play against not as good defense, then that player should have more points. It should be better.
Well, I don't know if you missed when I said that Magic is the pinnacle of the point guard. I said Magic is the pinnacle of point guard. I thought I acknowledged that Kobe and Jordan are the pinnacle of shooting guard. I'm not saying that these normal players are going to just like originate their game, bring their game down. I'm saying Jordan face to face with Kobe wouldn't be the 10 scoring title Jordan. I just don't believe that. Magic coming down to this era, I told you he's one of the people I consider to be one of those guys who could probably do it in every era, just on the strength of his physical specimen. As far as what Chris Paul brings to the table versus Magic, again, I'm just saying Chris Paul's game is definitely, you could definitely see where he probably paid a lot of attention to Magic and John Stockton, the way he played. That's what I'm saying. Like, we wouldn't have the way Chris Paul wouldn't play the way he played with one for Magic. That's what I'm saying.
And no, I agree with that. Every era is going to learn from each other. What I'm saying
That's all
is,
I'm saying.
when you talking about applying what was learned, like I could teach you what I did, but if I could do it better than you, I'm still better than you. Like even though you learned what I learned or learned what I told you, and you learned from somebody else, if I can still apply it better, I'm still better than you.
Wait, so you saying no matter what people learn, Jordan is gonna be better?
No, that's not what I said. I don't know how you got that. What I'm saying
Because
is,
that is the point of the conversation.
no, this is what I said.
Okay.
I said I can teach you what I teach you. If I can apply it better than you, then I'm still better. Right?
Let's
Muhammad
use
Ali.
let's use people for example.
So
Because and let's stick to the Kobe and Jordan.
mhm.
Let me know where I go wrong at when I say the statement, because I'm trying to see if I'm on the same page as you. Kobe, you can steal my mid-range fadeaway. I still do it better than you, so I'm better than you. Is that the quote you're trying to say?
Yeah.
All right. So I can agree with that part. I'm saying Kobe didn't stop at learning Jordan moves, just like LeBron didn't stop at learning Jordan and Kobe moves. They go beyond that. Kobe linking up with Hakeem Olajuwon learning the dream shake. Kobe watching these other players learning how to do the step back and shit like that. This is the part I am talking about. Now, and I'm saying that because that's what I actually seen. I can't sit there and say, oh, like I see people saying, oh, Jordan would have been in this era, but he would have learned how to shoot the 3-pointer better. And it's like, you can't go off that. You can't say that.
No. And I'm not saying that Jordan will be a 3-point shooter in this era. What I'm saying is because what he did, there's less resistance to what he did. That's it. I'm not saying that Jordan is going to all of a sudden shoot 5 threes a game. No, he's not. If he shot 5 threes a game, he's going to be worse. Right. What I'm saying, if he shoots, and I'm saying if he shots 5 threes a game, he's going to be worse. What I'm saying is his angle is downhill. There's no center there. They can't touch you. You can go to the goal, and if they breathe on you, it's a foul. So go to the goal, and that's what he did. When he got older in the game, he started shooting more mid-range jumpers. So when it comes down to getting to where you want to be, then you can do what you want to do, and he's gonna put up his numbers. He's gonna put up better numbers than what he did because his efficiency was always crazy. And there's less resistance. You don't have great centers anymore. Like you don't have great centers because you got Rudy Gobert, who you mess around and you decide not to pass him the ball after you've shot 15 threes and didn't make a shot, and you don't trust him to give him the ball when Stanley Johnson is covering him. There's no great centers in the league anymore, and it's so bad at this point. They keep on giving the same people.
That's not who making the defensive plays no more, though.
No, but I'm saying they're not. I'm saying when it comes down to the resistance at the rim, right? So even you say when it comes down to defenders, who's guarding anymore?
Point guard. It's all wings. It's all the wings going away.
Which ones?
I mean, if you name the top defensive players, they all wings. Kawhi, Clay, Draymond, Giannis, Bridges. If I keep going, I mean,
I'm saying you name like you named 2 wings and I mean, yeah, you named 3 wings and 2 of them was hurt. I'm just saying this year. I'm saying because Kawhi and Clay was hurt.
I don't know off jump who all.
No, but I'm saying no. But
put it this way: the best defensive center would be Gobert, and probably Embiid right after that. But even then, I consider Anthony Davis is a better defender than both of them, and Anthony Davis is considered a wing defender.
So, well, no, I guess you lumping in fours with wings. I'm saying like when it comes down to and I think of fours as like
that, but that's what it is these days, G. You can't say Anthony Davis is a big man and he literally playing the wing. Like,
well, no.
At one point, the wing was shooting guard and small forward. Now it's point guard, center, wings. All it's all one thing.
So
It
look,
is.
so look. When it comes down to guarding Jordan, Giannis not guarding him.
This be the last one. We let this run.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Giannis not guarding him. Draymond may. I'm about to say Draymond may, but Giannis not guarding him. Like who's guarding him? I'm saying
Giannis wouldn't guard him.
Because Giannis didn't go guard KD. So I'm saying Giannis wouldn't guard him.
That was bad coaching. That was bad coaching.
No, I'm saying Giannis didn't guard KD. Like
I bet that happened this year.
It better.
This year, I'm pretty sure. I was screaming at TV. Bruno's almost lost his fucking job. But go ahead, my bad. That's a cool.
No, so just when it come down to evolution of basketball, when I look at from a physical standpoint. When it comes down to style of play, there's going to be players in different eras that's going to fit more with the style based on a certain era. If you have a perimeter player or a 3-point shooter, they're going to fit better in this style. If you have a post-centric player, they're going to probably fit better in an old style because that's how they played. When it comes down to MJ and other 2s or 3s or wings and things like that, they're going to fit better in this style of play because the game is made for this style of play because of how exciting it is. So moving MJ into this style, he'll do much better. But that is not something that is exclusive to MJ.
Well, I ain't gonna rebuttal on this one no more because I feel like if we rebuttal, we're gonna keep going another 20, 30 minutes. So I'll let the fans decide on that. I'll let the viewers decide what's going on, how they feel about this whole thing.
Man, look, comment.
In fact, this one probably the one people probably like I'm tripping or I ain't getting no love because I'm not giving Jordan his just due. But I think I laid down facts enough for people to understand.
I'm about to say, look, comment in the post who you agree with. You think MJ will be better in this era, or you think MJ will be
same?
Right.
He'll be the
GOAT. He'll be the GOAT or he'll be the GOAT. That's like whatever.
Nah, it'll be hard to see he'll be the GOAT. Will he really get 10 scoring titles? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, y'all let us know. All the links gonna be in the description box. Whether y'all hit us up on Facebook, Championship Ringside, Instagram, Championship Ringside, Twitter @Champ Ringside, email championshipringside@gmail.com. I'm Blizzard Blaze. You can highlight G on Broten. How you say that shit again?
Broten Shake.
You got a 1 in the middle of that shit. They throw me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all can let us know what's going on with it. Of course, yeah. I would love to hear everybody else's explanation about the evolution of basketball. I would love to revisit this conversation to get more people. So y'all definitely let us know. But besides that, that's it, Ron G.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, shit. Shout out to everybody. Listen, shout out about showing love. Be smart. Stop hating. Stop bitching. BLM. God bless. Next time.